Funk.
Anyways,
Funk.
it's one of Daps'
yeah.
Yeah. Daps had his fruit and veg this morning.
Yeah, big up people who's joined and never a foul. If you haven't been here before, this is a generic football channel, and this is where we discuss lots of different things from lots of different teams. And today is mainly about our football club. Generic friends, all big sixpence, all DR. Anyways, make sure you smash the like button. It's always important to smash that like button. It's totally free. There's over how many people in here? About 150 or whatever it is, and it's only 54 likes. You lot can do better than this. I believe in you guys, and some of you I just don't believe in. I'm sorry. You mock it like HM. You mock the video. Anyways, what are we saying?
Already?
Guys?
What is he mocking it already?
Nah, he's not even here yet. But I just thought I'd just mention his name since he's such a loyal.
You know what? I'm not even gonna lie. I feel like I'm just on the same stream as yesterday, and I haven't slept, and I'm just still on.
I didn't sleep much. I just feel like I saw some of these people last night in the comments. Hello again.
Yeah, man. Hopefully people washed their faces this morning, man. They might stink.
Yeah.
Other than that, there's
I actually haven't got any trousers on, by the way. I'm just putting it out there.
That's how you do your work Zoom calls as well.
Yeah, fully, bro. I've got up. Look at Cass's face.
Anyways.
I won't. Unlike usually, where I stand up and go toilet or go and get a drink, I won't be doing that today. I can't. So I'm here for an hour.
You lot can obviously see from the thumbnail or the title what we're going to be talking about. Declan Rice, Fabinho, 40 million up front, by the way, in full single one payment. They're talking. Florentino Luis, a name that's been linked and to watch out for, according to Paul Joyce for Liverpool. If you don't know about him, I'll be telling you all about that guy. And Lukaku. He's going to be kissing his 7th badge, potentially, at Juventus. This guy is a dog.
7th.
Just like his missus.
7th.
Huh?
West Brom.
Everton.
Chelsea.
Chelsea.
United.
It'll be his 6th.
I think there's another one you missed out.
Anderlecht.
Rah. And, of course, Megan Thee Stallion.
Oh,
yeah.
It's
so
not,
basically,
it's not a club, it's a trophy.
He's given the life
definitely
of
a trophy.
Cat. He's got one more club in him after this, and that will give him 9 lives.
I am him, as he says.
Oh god, yeah,
he's
man.
Just such a snake. He's just another Nicholas Anelka when you think about it, isn't it? It goes everywhere.
Bro, Anelka was different because Anelka,
was that bad boy clubs like.
But in the Premier League, he was at City, Arsenal, Chelsea, Liverpool, Bolton. But you think there straight away, Arsenal, Chelsea, Liverpool.
Yeah, it's
City.
like the top.
Admittedly, City weren't top them, but still, the fact that he's going between all them clubs, mad. Anelka's a bad boy. Lukaku is not.
Even now, like I see a picture of him the other day, like just in his suit. He's just got his hair clean shaved, his beard's on point. Like he just looks slick.
Bro, Anelka was a bad boy. No matter it was. Yeah. Every club he went to.
And I know, even though he was quite lazy, I just know he's one of them players that no man's saying nothing to him. Like they just like let Anelka be Anelka.
Yeah.
Guys, over 300 of you in here already. That's doubled in literally 2 minutes. So guys, please make sure you keep running up the likes. As we always say as well, it pushes us out to new people. So make sure you do that for us. And like I say as well, at the end of the show, if there's anything you want us to discuss, any concept shows or anything, get them in the comments after. We'll definitely make sure we read them. And then super chats will always be read. But yeah, Cass, man, I'll let you.
Sorry, one other thing as well. We are currently on, and Cass, I was watching yesterday. You were talking about you couldn't work out how many weeks ago it was that we were on, that we hit 10K.
10K, yeah.
It was 3 weeks ago.
3 weeks ago today.
3 weeks ago today.
I mean, wow.
And we are currently on 11,979 subscribers. So we are 21 away from 12K. So
we could hit that today.
People, during this show, can you get us to 12K subscribers? So we're 21 subscribers off of 12K. So if you're watching this, if you're listening right now and you're not subscribed yet, there's one straight away. But anyone else want to join that one, just join right now. I'm going to keep an eye on it, right? I'm refreshing. And, 11 9 8 0 20, sorry, 11 9 8 1 19 away. Look, as I say this, 18 away. I'll refresh again.
There we go.
I'll refresh again. Oh, it's taking longer still now. 18 away. Listen, Oh, no. Wow, damn. 13 away. There we go. We're 13 away.
Love that. New people showing love. That's it.
Okay, during this show, I'm pretty confident you can do it.
And we might be joined by Dan Lawless later, potentially. And you know where that's going to go. Towards let's talk about
Rice, baby.
Yeah, I want to let's obviously if you haven't got our segments yet, in the first 5-ish minutes or so, we always talk about something that's probably not really related to football, and then we go and talk about it. But now this is the main subject of today is that guy, Declan Rice. 105 million, quoted 120 by what's his name? Pletty, whatever, SCFC Bayern, whatever the names are. Obviously, it's a lie. I'm going to banner it, though. He's 120 million to me now. Is that what you get? I don't want to discredit the player, but I have to discredit the intro. The announcement video.
So can I just discredit the two people that subbed and then unsubbed? Literally went up and then went down by 2. Like,
they heard Cass mention 120 million. He's going to run with it.
Cass is getting the numbers wrong. Cass, I'll get go on. Carry on. I know what you're saying as well.
Yeah, it's mid baby, isn't it? It's not that great. It's just I expected more. You know what it is? If you spent 100 and whatever million, I expected amazing, basically, because Arsenal.
But also because Arsenal were good at it. Arsenal,
yes,
but are we looking to find some sort of shade to throw on this? Yeah,
of course.
That is what we're doing, isn't it? We're trying to go, well, might be a good signing, but the release video is rubbish.
I'm just saying when we signed Pogba, I remember, was it Pogba and Stormzy? Like that was
yeah.
Did you see what I'm saying? I'm not saying
that wasn't United, that was Adidas.
Yeah, it was Adidas.
That was Adidas fully.
Yeah. It was something. I was expecting something major. But then again, do you know what I think it is as well, though? I don't know if it's me, right? I'm so bored of the Rice thing. I was like, the announcement should have come as soon as they basically agreed defeat. It's dragged out so long that the buzz is gone. It's like no one's even that bothered about it.
That's true. That's true. If it was happened a week ago when that announcement video might have come out, then it might have been like the song is cold. Yeah. But it's like, just doing headers and kick-ups and shouting at the camera. I'm like, come on, man.
Do you know what? Do you know what I think? So the other day,
it's an Adidas announcement. I'm gonna watch it now.
The other day, the Adidas one might be better. But the other day, right, there was this on Arsenal's pre-season. I think it was Saka and Ben White. I think it were taking pictures of each other, and one was like posing while the other one was taking pictures on like a Polaroid camera or something, right? And they said what would be sick is if it showed Saka posing, showed Ben White taking the picture, but then when the actual picture came out, instead of it being Saka there, it was Declan Rice there. As in, like, oh, it's not right. Yeah. And don't you think? Then I was thinking, yeah, that would be sick. But what would be even sicker? And it's the world we live in. It don't happen now. But where you didn't know about announcement, you didn't know nothing. Like, and then all of a sudden, a player just got announced. Like there was no rumors, no nothing. All of a sudden, it's like out of nowhere, boom. Arsenal signed Declan Rice.
Yeah,
that would if football was like that. That would be that would have
rocketed.
Man.
Yeah,
but that doesn't really. I mean. Nowadays, you don't really get many of them. Like I think Bayern have certainly had a few where there's been no rumours, no nothing. Then all of a sudden, it's like boom, Bayern have signed this player. It's like but it don't really happen like that. But now, listen, it's a good signing, man. It's a good signing. Yeah. It's taken a minute, but it doesn't matter. All of that doesn't matter. They've got their boy. Is the Adidas one better?
Adidas one's good.
Bro, because Adidas.
Are you allowed to share it on here?
I'd rather not.
Yeah, best we don't. But, look, that's the thing. We all know with the United and Pogba one, that was 100% Adidas because the fact that Stormzy was in it and Stormzy's
in that one.
Yeah, the Adidas.
You got to realise these companies, these companies like Nike, Adidas, Puma, they have a big say in what goes on, in this football world. They have a big say in where players are going.
They're even told, like, before the deals happen, right, get this stuff,
they hate... No. Yeah. They help deals happen.
Yeah.
Like, because if they... For example, I swear that was when Adidas first got this...
Man United.
And then they went, there's a reason why Pogba, like, they're like, listen, this would be a big deal if we can get, like, I think Pep's now sponsored by Puma because City are Puma. And they make things happen, man. But now, listen, Declan Rice, good signing. We all knew that was coming. And now it's just, I guess it's just wait and see if they do get anyone else.
I'm excited. Do you know what? Now he's actually here, and I'm putting my football hat on, In terms of him, now they've got obviously Havertz that's coming. He's going to take a while to warm up anyway. They've still got Partey at the club. Jack is the one that's gone, but like I'm looking forward to Arsenal's next 3 or 4 games because I think Declan Rice will go into training next week now. I think he'll be back in full preseason. He's had his holiday, and then he'll start playing in the next 1 or 2 games. He will get some minutes, and I'm intrigued to see where they're gonna base him in number 6 or number 8. And the reason I say that is it's all right playing him in different positions, which Arteta might be able to try in pre-season. However, if I'm an Arsenal fan looking at it, going into this new season, we've all said it, this is the year Arsenal to challenge for the Premier League. They're going out and doing the business in the transfer window. They're there competing right now after last season. Confidence is high. They've just got to get over the next barrier now of winning something major. But I feel like when you get a new signing in, you have to kind of play him where you're going to play him in the season once it starts. So it's either, if I see him in a number 8, for example, when he starts his first game for Arsenal, I'm going to be like, right, cool. Arteta sees him as a number 8 because there's no reason for Arteta to play him as a number 8 to then play him as a number 6 when the season starts. So where do you think, he's going to play in his first start? Is it number 8? Is he coming as the number 6?
It's got to be number 8. By the way, Stormzy's begging him in the Adidas video. Don't go Arsenal, bro. It's actually kind of sick. Go watch it. Just write Adidas.
I'll watch it after.
I'm going to watch it after
because I'm concentrating on the show at the moment.
I can't see him playing as the 6 while Partey stays there. What's the point? Because why would they have to wait for someone like Xhaka to go out for Rice to come in? Right? That's 8. And I'm looking at Partey as the number 6. And I think Arsenal, if they really want to challenge for the league and everything, I feel like they need to go get Lavia while Liverpool are pondering over this Fabinho stuff and everything, I think, and keep Partey. And then you've got a sick midfield and depth. And that's the way I look at it. I like when you watch England, right? And this is just a reference point of it all. When I watched England, I watched Rice in the 6. I don't like it. I just don't think he's the guy to pick up the ball and turn and not get tackled. He does. I like him when he can drive at a defense. He's got a good shot on him, a good long shot, by the way.
Yeah, yes.
And also, it's just the energy he provides. And
I think he's an 8, bro, 100%.
I just think he's an 8. And even West Ham last season, people can talk about Rice in the 6, but that's because they had no defensive cover.
Yeah,
now when I saw him
not 6, so
season beforehand, when he was playing the 8 more. Look how good West Ham were overall, and that's why I think he should play the 8 because he's just. I think he's a little bit too robust for the modern day 6. Unless
and do you know what as well?
Unless you've got an 8 that's just press resistant. You can't get.
And I think as well, if you sign someone for 105 million, which it is, why would you sign someone that's got strengths to play an 8, sign him for 105 million, but then play him as a number 6, which then limits what he can actually do? Because I was chatting to Sam. Funny enough, Daps, I was chatting to Sam about it at work yesterday, City Sam. And he was like, do you know what? Obviously, Declan Rice, because he's a big fan of Declan Rice. He's like, Declan Rice going to Arsenal. He's like, do you know what? I can't wait if they play him as a 6. And I was like, really? Because I didn't know what angle he was coming from. And he was like, no, I want him to play him as a 6 because he goes, that will limit what he can actually do. If he plays him as an 8, he can do the box-to-box thing. He can use his energy. He can get up and down. He's like, I want him to go there. And I want Arsenal fans to gas him up as a 6 because I actually think as rivals, it benefits us because then he won't be able to do everything he can showcase. And I kind of thought, do you know what? It's a good point.
Spot on, I think this is the thing. I would say, and do you know what? This is the way that people look at football. And I don't like it because I like one of my favourite City players ever is Nigel de Jong, And he was just an out and out 6. Right? He was just a destroyer, right? But you are hitting the ceiling. You're being as good in that role as you can be in that role. But to your casual football watchers, your ceiling is lower if you play in that 6 role, If you play in that 8 role, and the truth be told, that this is why Rodri probably hasn't won 6 Player of the Season yet, right? Because
it's not a flash in the pan position.
Well, probably the last 2 seasons, Rodri has been Manchester City's best player, right? Yeah. But he doesn't get of course, he gets the praise like 100%, but he doesn't get the accolades because of it, right? Whereas if you play in the 8, you're instantly can become a clutch player,
contributing to goals, Everything. It's everything. It's the whole package.
And that's what I think. I think Rice's ceiling is that high that if he goes into the 8 role, he can really hit some serious ceiling.
And that's what I actually think as well. Like, if I'm an Arsenal fan and I see him in the 8, if you have him and Odegaard as your 2 players, I think the balance is there because Odegaard's that flair player. He's the creative one. He's sort of like the, you know what I mean? He's the magical player. Then Rice, he does a bit of everything. The gritty, can pinch the ball back high up. It's
Gundogan De Bruyne.
Yeah, literally Gundogan De Bruyne. Yeah, it's like that.
I was going to allude to this. If everyone remembers Rice, he scored, I think, was it a bad boy goal in Europe? I think it
scored
was.
quite a few decent goals.
I was actually looking at the game where he ran with the ball, Cass.
On the left-hand side. And if you look at a lot of Declan Rice's runs, they're always down kind of to the left or the right, never down the middle. Like,
but you know what? You know where this convo leads to, though.
Go on.
With if he plays in that 8 role.
Go on.
Why have they signed Havertz?
Well, I look at it like this, though. You got to think of it as where Arsenal were lacking, and I think the DM is still lacking with Jorginho and not. But with Jorginho, he can work. That's the thing. And even then, that's why I say Jorginho needs legs around Odegaard and Rice. It's legs around Jorginho, and that's what I think is good for him. And that's
so where's Havertz? So where does Havertz fit in?
I don't care about Havertz right now. He was never in my thoughts. So
you're with me that he's a squad player.
Squad player, 100%.
Yeah, 100% a squad player. And the way 100%. I look at it, imagine if Partey is to get injured, then you've got a more than suitable enough cover to go and play Rice in a 6. So now they've got an option that he's great enough to play in a 6 if needed. But I look at it as 8. And then you can play the 8 with whoever who's required. Maybe Havertz, maybe Emil Smith-Rowe. Maybe Odegaard drops there and you push Havertz a little bit higher. That's the way I look at it.
And it's funny, Cass, that Daps even mentioned the Gundogan, because I know obviously Gundogan's better quality on the ball, by the way, than what Declan Rice is. However, when you look at the profiles of him, Gundogan was able to play an 8. But if you ask Daps, when Rodri didn't play, Gundogan was the sitter. And that's what Rice can do. Exactly play the 8. And when Partey or Jorginho is not there, then you know that Rice is capable enough of playing the 6. It's not even like capable enough. They're still very good at it. Like,
do you know what, bro? And the thing, like, because now there will be people in here, there'll be City fans, there'll be just other rival fans that don't support Arsenal saying, are we really trying to compare Declan Rice to Gundogan? There will be people saying that now. 100%. When I said it, I thought this is going to sound a bit mad because of everything Gundogan's achieved, the goal, the important goals he scored, But we have to remember, none of us were saying that when we bought Gundogan. None of us knew Gundogan as a player that could play a false 9. None of us knew Gundogan could, Gundogan's 32 now or something. Declan Rice is still a spring chicken. So I do look at him, and at City, I would have wanted 100% when people saying about, why would Rice go to City? He wouldn't get Rodri out of the team. But for me, or when, in fact, the other one was, what's it called, Cass? Mo kept saying that Rice was going to come to City and he was going to play the Stones role next to Rodri. And I was like, no, he's not. If Rice goes to City, he would have been the Gundogan replacement, 100%.
Yeah, he would have. Yeah, I would have.
100% be the Gundogan replacement. So it's a great signing.
They're talking of Declan Rice as a captain. That I know. I'm not trying to discredit. In terms of me, if I was Arsenal and I'm looking at it and give Declan Rice 1 or 2 years, even if Odegaard's here, Odegaard will still shine without the captaincy. He's the type of player that doesn't need it. Declan Rice is the type that will thrive with it. I feel like he is born to be the Arsenal kind of captain.
And it's literally like at Manchester City. I've said it a million times. I don't like Kevin De Bruyne with the
as a captain. Yeah, exactly. And it doesn't affect him.
No, it's extra pressure. And sometimes on those creative players, don't give them that. There's leaders and there's amazing players, right?
Like Diaz, perfect. He can get it. And you'll be like,
Rice to me, if you look at Declan Rice, hey, how old is he, by the way? 23?
24.
24, right. So he's 24. He's just captained West Ham United, right, to a European trophy, at the age of 24, right? Arsenal have come in for him. Now, if you're Declan Rice, you want your career to progress. So firstly, you want to move from, winning the Europa Conference League to challenging for the league and challenging maybe for things in Europe. But the other thing is, if you've been captain of a club, you don't want to... Right, I'm not saying he's taking a step backwards. He's not. He's going to Arsenal over West Ham. But as far as he's now not the leader, so now he's at a bigger club. But 100%, Declan Rice will be like, I want to captain this club. I've captained another club, why the hell can't I captain this club? And I think Arteta won't just go boom, because you can't go.
Right, no, you can't do it. But you have a.
I think over in the next.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, over the next
and I just feel like, and I even feel like the way he plays, because we all know that it's the box-to-box energy. I call him, he's like an enforcer. That's the perfect word. It's like that, and I feel like he'll impose himself on games because of the drive runs he has and the way he can tackle. He'll get the crowd going. Odegaard is brilliant nonetheless, so he doesn't need that because he's that flashy side. Let him just focus on that. But Odegaard, when you're 1-0 down away at Man City, is he the type that's going to give that big speech and get you guys going? No, he might chip in, but will Declan Rice give you that big speech or give you that calmness or give you that sort of, guys, we're here. We're here. 100%. He can do that. 100%. Let me read these super chats as well. Big up, guys. 700 of you here. So make sure you keep smashing that like on your way in, people. I think we're under 5 away now from 12,000 subscribers. So that is crazy. So that is massive to us. And on the journey keeps going. Top man, get the top man says, Cass, you was right. Rice, about Rice, bring back Arsenal to the glory days. Thank you so much for the Snapchat on that. Love that, guys. Thank you.
What? And Wait, then the what? Wait, the what?
Super chat.
The Snapchat.
Did I say Snapchat?
Yeah.
Oh shit!
I swear you Bedford, Luton, MK Don, you just don't know how to read properly, innit?
All right, Mr. Intellect.
I can. Now he said, no, Daps, I like that. Now he said that when he makes a mistake, I'm pinning him. I'm pinning him.
That's totally fine. I'm just saying you can't pronounce words like Gundogan or Shabozlai or.
I'm good at that. I'm good at that. I just like doing my research.
You're right. You're right.
You're right. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Coming from Peckham and that, you literally. You're
trust me. I must have no
education. The private school in Peckham. Liverpool. Liverpool till I die. Thank you again for the super chat. He says, Rice, Partey, Odegaard is a scary midfield. I truly believe Havertz is a squad player and will only be used against low blocks. Rice has a super high ceiling. I think that's a very true one as well. I think teams that you'll dominate. Havertz's sort of late runs into the box, his movement will enable Arsenal to sort of open up them teams when they may be being frustrated or being annoyed, especially in them teams that sit back and sit deep. So thank you for your super chats. Keep running up the likes and everything. When is Arsenal's next game, by the way? I'm just trying to think when he might make his debut.
Might be you lot. Can I just say, by the way, if I'm Arsenal right, if I'm Arteta right now and I'm Arsenal right now, I'm looking at this team and look, why is Partey right? Unless it is because he's worried or Arsenal are worried about the potential case he could have, because we don't know enough about it, so it could be, might not. Unless they're worried about that, why else? Like, surely Arteta must be looking at this now, thinking, now the next job is to keep Partey.
I agree. I don't have to say much. I'll let Cass go.
Like you said, Rice, Partey, Odegaard, is a banging midfield.
Yeah, it is.
It's proper balance. Proper
balanced midfield. And it's literally you look at Rodri, Gundogan, De Bruyne, and then you look at that. It is like it's the same balance. It's right, and unless they've got a very suitable replacement for Partey. Or there's a really valid reason, because I know people will say, maybe. I think one of the things is at the back end of last season, obviously when Arsenal dropped off a bit, that Partey didn't stand up and, be counted. But the truth is, you can say that about a lot of their players, and that's just, it was their first title race. So I don't think you can be saying Partey isn't good enough. Like, he is good enough.
He's good enough. He is good. It's just whether, do you know what? It's so weird. It's like, does he want to stay or a club looking to wait?
I saw a report he wants to stay and he didn't want to go nowhere. I saw,
and if he does, 100% keep him for one more year, Cass. Like, for me, he's another player, by the way. We actually pigeonhole Thomas Partey again is saying he's a number 6. Yes, he's brilliant at playing a number 6. He showed it halfway through the season. However, he's another player at Atletico Madrid. He can play number 8 as well. So if you look at Arsenal, they've got Jorginho, who's the natural number 6. You've got Thomas Partey, who's 6 and 8. You've got Declan Rice, 6 and 8. And then you've got Havertz, 8-10. And then you've got Odegaard, 8-10. When you actually look at it, they've covered basically 2 players in each position, which is what Man City have been great at doing.
And they've got
I think it's massive that they keep Partey.
Then they've got Zinchenko, who's kind of, you can't remember, who is an 8 stroke and left back.
Timber can play 6.
Yeah, and Timber can emergency play 6 if needed. Like,
it's balance, man. Proper balance.
You know what? I look at this, right? And I think I'm going to lay low a little bit on that because, we saw Benjamin Mendy get cleared yesterday. Yeah. And I can see why Arsenal might want to get rid of him because of allegations, but really and truly, we should never talk about allegations.
He still hasn't even been named in them allegations.
Yeah, all I'm trying to say is...
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
We can't even assume that it is him, like, legally.
We shouldn't assume it because if he is to be innocent or not, or whatever the case is, then there's no point screaming it because it's kind of, you're ruining a man's life. You can ruin it.
I prefer not to even talk on it, to be fair.
But it's still relevant because it's like, it's still a part of everything, so that's why I look at it. It's like, there's no point.
The reason why I even mentioned it is because I'm trying to comprehend why
they would want to get rid.
You'd want to get rid of Partey. Like, and do you know what? Has anyone at Arsenal even said they want to get rid of him?
No, that's what I'm saying. It's actually all noise at the moment. Xhaka's the one.
There we go.
And it's like the Thomas Partey thing. He actually might be just staying at the club, playing for another year. They're building for the strength because for me, it doesn't make sense, right? If you're going to get rid of Granit Xhaka, who is your experienced player. I think we were on the same show last week. We said you get rid of Granit Xhaka, who's your experienced player. He was your captain 2-3 years ago. And then it's like, cool, we're bringing De Havertz. But then if you're going to get rid of Thomas Partey as well, who is 29, 30, but he's been experienced. He's been at Atletico. He's been at Arsenal. He's a Ghana international. You're losing 2 senior players in the midfield. And I was going to link this to Liverpool later on when we go to Liverpool. We can kind of link it now because when you look at Liverpool, right, if they get rid of Fabinho, who looks like he's not been included on the preseason tour if you've missed today's news.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's been eliminated. Yeah, he's not going on a preseason trip. You got Jordan Henderson, who still is because they haven't agreed a fee. That could still potentially be happening. So that's Fabinho and Henderson. If they lose them and then they bring in 4 midfielders, for example, as much as I've been sitting there saying, do you know what? If Liverpool get another midfielder and a centre-back, they can challenge for the title. I was listening to Drifty, by the way, big up Drifty from the Coppish, and he was saying on one of his streams, he was talking by himself, and I was like, it's a great point. He's like, if we lose Henderson and Fabinho, but bring in 4 midfielders, there's no reason why people need to scream in, Liverpool could be winning the league, because he said, what type of team at elite level brings in 4 brand new midfielders in a summer and expects it just to click? Yeah. And I was like, do you know what? It's a valid point. He said, do you know what? He said, it could click. He said, Jiffy was like, it could click. And you know what? Amazing if it does. And I'll be thinking like, wow, it's actually worked. However, I'm not going to go into the season thinking 4 new midfielders, the way Liverpool play in their style, and they're all meant to gel like that. And I was like, do you know what? Well. It's a good point. So
I look at it like that as well. If they lose Partey, they lose such valuable experience in that midfield. And even if he gets injured, now you got cover. That's the whole point. Not one player is going to stay fully injury-free. You're lucky if you stay injury-free for a whole season, you're not a Bruno Fernandes or Rodri or people that just naturally stay fit. I just look at it like that. You can't get this man's. Remember Daps as well. Yeah, sorry, he's an Arsenal fan. Yeah, when he was linked with Man United, his dad, I think it was his dad or his family was saying go to Arsenal because his whole family are also Arsenal fan. Why would you want to leave, especially when the club's on the up, right?
And where Arsenal are at the moment is they're still building. Right. And what I mean by that is you can't go out, a bit like with Liverpool, you can't go out and build a squad overnight. Yeah. No. Arsenal last season showed their best 11, can compete. But to be able to compete, compete in one competition. Compete in one competition. I've said this for a while. Arsenal were Arsenal back years ago, 20 years ago, right? Then they had the stadium rebuilt, so they couldn't spend as much money. The stadium's rebuilt. The stadium's paid off. Now they've started spending money again, big money. Do you know what? They've spent a lot of money, right? But you have to, like City had to, Arsenal have had to spend that big money to get back to where they want to be, yeah? And where they want to be, I'm sure, won't be to win another couple of on and off seasons. They'll want to do better than they did last time. They'll want to retain. They'll want to do potentially a treble. They'll want to go further in Europe, right, than they have done before, right? And to achieve all of that, you can't do that with the best 11. So they need a bigger squad. They need a deeper squad.
Facts, yeah.
Keeping Partey is that, right? Bringing in Havertz is that, right? Bringing in Timber is that. All of that is building a squad and depth, right? If you're then letting Partey go, or say, for example, if they were to let Trossard go, just as an example, because they brought Havertz in, or then maybe going, well, we got Timber now, Ben White, we'll let him go. That's not building depth. So for me, even more when I think about it, the Partey thing, Arsenal haven't made it clear they want to sell him. So these are all just rumours, and where they are at the moment, maybe they got
to stop doing this potential thing, like buying players for their potential. I think Declan Rice is an exception because he's always very good, and obviously they say Prem experience. He's used to this, used to that, and he's a different type of player. He never gets injured. That's okay, but they just got to stop buying potential, start buying the players that are good right now or extremely very good that can reach them levels, right? Because there's no point looking at a Marquinhos or a dude from Brazil called Andre Santos of Chelsea and think that they're going to be the next world beater, because truly they're not, you know. And when you think about it, it's true they've had to spend to get where they are. And everyone knows I'm a little bit shameless towards it, and I still will be. But they've had to spend roughly, if they start topping around 675 million spend, you know, like that's about 168 million per season of Arteta's career of 4 seasons, and that's not exactly, when you think about it logically, 168 million per season to get where you need to be for 4 years.
It's not that bad, if I'm totally honest.
Newcastle
in today's market, to get a right. We looked at Newcastle last night. Big up Ugo when he came on yesterday, yeah. But you look at Isaac, 60 million last year. We said it's 60 million Tonali this year. That's 60 million already on a big player for a Newcastle. If you're looking at Arsenal who want to compete for the title, going into Champions Leagues, you're going to have to spend 160 million, because that probably in today's market, if you really want to make a difference or an impact in the Premier League or Champions League, that gets you 3 quality or 4 quality players max in the league. You look at Ten Hag. Ten Hag come in last year. We spent about 200 million plus. Casemiro came in. Lisandro came in. Anthony came in. Christian Eriksen was obviously on a free. I can't remember who else came in, but obviously we spent over 200 million. And at the end of the day, that got us or helped us get into the top 4. If Man United want to compete for the league again, I'm going to be completely honest about it. We would have to go out and spend another 200 million. So I'm never going to get onto a team about spending. What I would get onto a team about is not. Yeah, it's the way it is. And what I would get onto a team about is if they weren't backing the manager fully or showing that ambition. But Arsenal are. Arsenal fans can be excited. I'll big them up for it, because they said what they wanted,
they should be excited,
and they're doing it. Declan Rice, Timber, Havertz, they're probably going to get 1 or 2 more players in. They're actually going out there and showing Arteta that, you know, right, we appreciate what you've done, and we think you're on the right path, and we're going to give you that money to take you to that next path. And whether Arteta can deliver that or not, we don't know. But what the board are showing is that, right, the manager they have faith in, the squad also as well. You got to think about this. As much as we talk about, like, as fans, like, oh, Arsenal need this, Arsenal need that. When you've got players like Odegaard, you've got Saka, you've got Saliba, who you're tying down to a new contract, they want to be part of a team where they're like, you know what, the owners are actually backing the manager. We want to be part of a team where we're competing. Imagine us three, right? Cass, you're Odegaard, yeah? Daps is Ben White, and I'm Gabriel, and we're there in the changing room, and we're like, yo, like, we're gonna bring these man in, like, we can actually go for this. Like, you're gassing up the team as well, and that's important.
But you know what? I said this on the Rice thing, that when it got confirmed Rice was going, when City came in for Rice, I said the night before it got confirmed that it was going to be going Arsenal, I said Arsenal's board have to now blow Man City out of the water, right? They have to win this. This is a race Arsenal have to win, because if they don't, right, then there's going to be players at the club questioning the ambition. There's going to be other players from other clubs going, whereas this is now something to everyone. Now, I have no doubt that when Saka signed that contract, Saka had been given reassurances that the board is putting some players. The minute Saka
Bruno Fernandes wanted it. Do you remember? Bruno wanted it a year ago.
This is when players go to sign their contracts. Yeah, like, for example, Kyle Walker, I believe is having a chat with Pep on Monday to decide. Now, this will be a bit different because Kyle Walker's will be more about game time and what Pep's plans with him next season are. But players don't just literally look at a contract, go, I like that number, and sign it. Players have ambition, and they want to know what's following. They want to know, right, okay, cool. So me, Saka, if I sign this contract here, I want to know what the plans of the club are for the next 2-3 years. Who else am I going to have? Like, what's going to help me to achieve what I want to achieve? And if they said, well, there's going to have to be a few exits this summer, then I'm sure Saka would have gone, exits. Okay, do you know what? I'm going to look what else is out there. So
exactly. And they're not making exits, but bringing in the Declan Rice. Big up Lawless for joining. We've got Declan Rice and they've got Timber. It's showing that the players there, like we said, are having that harmony of like, do you know what? We're actually getting great players in. We can maybe do why. In my head, I'll be thinking as a player, okay, we got close to City. I'm just using this as an example. We got close to City last year with the squad we have. With the squad we're now getting, why can't we get closer? And that's the aim of what they should be doing. Big up Lawless for joining. West Ham Fan TV. Been a while as well, man. I hope you're good, bro. See a day where you've seen Declan Rice, one of your legends now. You could probably describe him as has left the club and gone to
sit down with that. Get out of here with that. I don't want to hear about legend. Don't give me that legend.
Oh,
nonsense.
okay. You want to? Okay, I've been hearing that. I thought, okay.
No. Let's not go that far. Let's not.
Nah, fair. I respect it. Because I don't think he's one. I don't personally have him down as that, but a lot of fans.
Tell us some legends, Lawless. Tell us some West Ham legends then.
Billy Bonds, Bobby Moore.
Right, you're going back old school.
Yeah, I saw someone put him third in that after them two.
Antonio.
Well, listen, Antonio's got a record. He's a record Premier League goal scorer. So if you want to say that, but
Kane's a legend at Tottenham. So
he's got. Well, there you go. No, let's not have Colton Cole. But he's got like a sort of like a hero status.
Cult hero kind of like sort of.
No, yeah, Colton Cole's a cult hero.
Yeah.
Like, but he's not. It's to say he's a legend. Like he hasn't played. You know. Yeah, like he's been part of a great team. He won a trophy. Legend is like to be one of the legends at this club. Like he hasn't given us the best years of his career. Like you're leaving at 24. So to me, if you're a legend, you've got to give the best years of your career to that club.
Do you know what? I think you're right with that because there are players from, for example, who was it? Dennis Law, right? Dennis Law is a Man United legend, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Would you say he's a Man United legend? I think it's safe to say that. Yeah.
Yeah, he's up there. Yeah.
He played at City.
Yeah.
He's not a City legend because he didn't give the best part of his career to City. And I think you're right with that you will always go with where was the best part of now. If Rice completely drops off at Arsenal, Lawless there might be okay. Well, we can now maybe listen to the
Arsenal
conversation.
Declan Rice is not a West Ham legend then.
No, he's not a West Ham legend. That doesn't mean that he's, a crap player for us or just another player or just someone else that's played. But he hasn't gone into that legend status for me. Like I said, you've left at 24, not giving us the best years of your career. You're if he goes to Arsenal and does all the stuff that they say he's going to do, then he'll be their legend. He won't be.
You took the words out of my mouth. I was about to say, Lord, do you actually think in 5 years, hypothetically, if he does what he's expected to do, could he become an Arsenal legend? I was actually going to ask you that.
Yeah. If he wins all these Prems and Champions Leagues that they say that they're going to win with him, and he thinks they're going to win, then he'll be an Arsenal legend without a doubt. He won't be a West Ham legend. He'll be, a good young player that we had. We had Frank Lampard, Michael Carrick, Joe Cole, Rio Ferdinand. They're not West Ham legends, but they were great quality players that we had that came through our academy,
Yeah.
That's spot. You know what? That's right. Because it is. And this is the thing that Arsenal did well last season. Yeah. Arsenal 20 years ago were the Arsenal that, invincibles and all of that. But they've had 20 years off. All right, they've got a couple of FA Cups in those 20 years, but really and truly, listen, Arsenal fans, I know this is a point where, although I've been singing your praise all show, because I've said that you've had a quiet 20 years, you're now going to think that I'm a hater. So, cool.
I'm glad I've come for this part. I'm glad I missed that first.
Oh, no, we have been waxing Liverpool about Arsenal, rightly so. But they have had 20 years off. Now, if Declan Rice goes in there and this season Arsenal win the league, this season Arsenal go on a really good run in the Champions League, and it's very clear that Declan Rice, captain or not, has been a big person on the pitch, then straight away it's like, okay, I'm not saying he's a legend after one season, but it's going to be like, okay, he's come in and made a difference. Like the thing with Vinny. For me, Vinny is my best City player of all time. Not best quality-wise, but my favourite City player of all time, my biggest City legend in my lifetime, because he was there. He was the captain. He was the one that brought us our first trophy. So for that, And I guess with Declan Rice, it could be the same thing. I also do think he will be captain as well, by the way. And I think if he is made captain there, I do think Declan Rice could potentially spend the rest of his career at Arsenal as well.
Do you think though, like, and this is what I was having out with some Arsenal fans. They did not like this suggestion, but I know he signed a 6-year deal. If they say they don't win in the next 3-4 years, these big trophies, right? He's going to be looking at and potentially not wanting to sign a new contract, and potentially have his eye on the door to the point where they either keep him till he's 30, and then he's 30 and he's got no, he has to see out he leaves on a free, or they cash in on him, if he doesn't want to be them, he does realize, because he hasn't got no loyalty to them, basically. He hasn't come through their academy. He didn't support them as a boy like he did with Chelsea. So he hasn't got those ties. So really this move is all about winning. It's all about achieving. So if you don't achieve over the next few years, then what happens?
Yeah, do you know what? Look, I get why you're saying that. He's a captain. He's been captain of West Ham. He's won him a trophy and he's moved on, right?
Yeah.
And he's come through West Ham's ranks and he was their captain. So yeah, I hear what you're saying. It depends how close they come and if they make him captain. Because I think if you make someone captain, it instantly makes it harder for them to leave the club. And especially if
price tag heavy, man.
Yeah, and also depends how close they are. If Arsenal are challenging and he's the captain while they're challenging, I think it will be a very difficult one to leave, because you'll be like, am I walking away from something that I can't achieve?
Well, he's got 2 years
as captain. Do you think he'll sign a new contract for a challenge if they challenge and don't win? And he's got like 2 years left on his deal, and they're going, right, sign this new 5-year contract.
Do you know what you can compare it to? You can compare it a bit to Kane, because Kane is Tottenham captain now, right?
He probably will be this year. It was Lloris, but it will be.
Oh,
Kane
it has
now.
been Lloris. All right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Okay. So it's not a good example. I was thinking he had been captain, because if you're, but the difference is Tottenham, in my opinion, even when people say there was this one season they challenged, in my opinion, I don't ever believe that Tottenham have been challenging right for the league ever. Yeah. You can say that one season. I don't really. Anyway, if you are captain of a team and you can't quite get that team over the line, that's the hardest thing. Do I leave to go and win trophies elsewhere? Or as captain, am I doubting myself if I leave? Because I should be the one leading.
You know what the big thing is as well, Daps? It's like, and what you and Lawless are saying are great points. Because if it's 3 years and he's there, is it a 5-year deal he signed, you say, Lawless, yeah?
6. They're saying 6. So
okay, 6. So say we does 3 or 4 years and they're the nearly team, as we've seen like last year, for example, and it happens a lot in the Champions League as well. He would then be 28. And that is the age where you're looking at it and thinking, right, I've got 4 years at the highest of the highest levels. I'm not saying he can't play at 33, 34 because the bodies are changing now and players are lasting longer. But for Declan Rice to say he can play at the optimum and give a team 5-star every week, between 28 and 32, that's sort of where after 32 it starts going down. Now, if you are 28 and you've got big teams sniffing, even big teams abroad, and you know that you're probably guaranteed to maybe win trophies, I think that would be a difficult discussion for Arsenal to have, because it's not like, and the reason I say that as well, it's not like Arsenal have had this situation never before. Like, they've had situations where like big players have left the club. We've seen, I know they weren't competing for the title, but they've seen Van Persie. They were finishing in the top 4, but Van Persie left and come to us and won us the title. Like, there's situations where big players, Fabregas, I know he went to obviously Barcelona. They really wanted to keep him and stuff. Like,
you also have to look at the era of that though, Ty. There was reasons why them lot left Arsenal.
No, of course. But right now they're in a. We could say they're in a good era, but obviously it's Arteta's 3rd full year now. I think this is. But like, it's like the pressure of them needing to deliver. If they didn't win nothing major in the next 3 or 4 years, even me as a Man United fan, I'm thinking, do you know what? Like, I'm expecting them to at least win something quite big. Yeah, I think where they're heading. And that's why I think it would be difficult, because of the age of Declan Rice. If he was 23 and you're saying sign a new deal back then yeah, it's cool, no problem, like he's signing now. But if you're 28, you just don't know what other moves and opportunities around the corner, which is why Harry Kane's now 30 this month or next month. And he's in a, do I stay, do I go, or do I see out my deal? And he's going to be 31 next year. So I don't know. It's going to be interesting. Laura, so I wanted to ask you quickly before we move on from the Declan Rice and go on to Liverpool, where you see Arsenal playing this Declan Rice, because obviously with Thomas Partey still at the club at the moment, we were saying, right, that a balanced midfield would be Thomas Partey, Declan Rice, and Odegaard. So Rice can then use, his legs, his energy, he can get up and down the pitch, be a bit of an enforcer, but a destroyer at the same time. Or do you see Arsenal playing him as a 6, which I think limits his qualities of what you're signing on £100 million player? So there, what do you think? And then we'll move on.
Yeah, I think him having a little bit more license to go forward and being able to use his abilities to drive forward and not just sit there and hold, I think that would be a bit of a waste. He is great at that, like, breaking up play, winning the ball back and starting attacks again. But yeah, if you give him that license then to hold on to the ball and actually run with it and give him that opportunity, yeah, I think that's where he lies. And it looks like Partey's on his way out, so they potentially play him in that sort of Partey role.
Yeah, it's an interesting one with that, isn't it? I don't know what's going to happen. And I think we were saying if Arsenal really want to push for the Champions League and the Premier League, I think having Partey around is very, very much a benefit than it would be, a benefit of them losing him. But guys, make sure you run up the likes. There's 800 in here right now. So that's great for a Saturday afternoon. Massively appreciate that. Make sure you keep smashing the likes. We want to get to over 400 likes before the end of the show.
Where the likes is.
How many are we on now?
You see that there's a little X button on the live chat, and then you can see where the thumb is lit. I don't know if it's gonna focus.
What are we on? Over 200, yeah? It looks like over 200 there.
Yeah, look, you see there's a little like button just right there. My one's lit. Is your one lit? That's the question.
There you go. Make sure you do that, people. And also thank you as well. I've just been told that we're over 12k subscribers now. So thank you all to the new ones. Thank you to the ones that have been there from day. Massively appreciate that as well. And also, if you're a West Ham fan in here as well, check out West Ham Fan TV as well. Make sure you go and subscribe to Lawless and the great content. And also, he's on DR as well. He does bits and bobs over there. So, yeah, guys, what we're going to do now.
Sorry, just quickly, have you said we've cleared 12k now?
Yeah, 12k. Yeah, and a big thank you to everyone, man. Yeah, big up everyone that's been watching. And what's that, Ty? What's happened to you making me a mod? Oh, talk to Cass about that. DM Cass, not me, because he'll be able to do it quicker for you.
Who's that?
G-Jan. DM Cass, MUFC Cass on Twitter if you've got it, G-Jan, or Instagram. Yeah, Cass will sort that out for you, don't worry.
Oh, DJN, what? Oh, he's everyone. Yeah, I don't mind.
Yeah, he'll sort that out for you.
Our mods have been lacking lately, I'll be honest.
Yeah. Message him after the show, we'll sort that out for you, bro.
I'll do it now.
But we're going to Liverpool because obviously, like I said earlier, guys, if you don't know, Fabinho has been left out of the travelling squad for their friendly, which basically says he's on his way to Saudi. 40 million fee they're looking at. Don't know how they've done it again, but they've done it. And it looks like Jordan Henderson is still going on a tour at the moment because they're struggling to agree a fee. So with it, news has come out today from James Pearce, Paul Joyce as well, that Liverpool are looking at Florentino Ruiz from Benfica, very good young player coming out of defensive midfield there. It looks like they're also looking at Sofiane Amrabat. So they're looking at going from Fabinho to Fabinho's cousin in terms of head shape. What did you say?
Said leave him alone.
Say cousin based on cousin, head shape.
The head shape, yeah. Okay. And then they're also looking at obviously Lavia, as we know as well. But which one would you guys prefer? Let us know in the comments. We'll get your super chats in. Amrabat, Lavia, or would you prefer obviously someone else to come in, Florentino Luiz? But yeah, where are you at with Liverpool casting this? Because I know you're a big Amrabat fan. Are you quite? When I saw it, I was kind of gutted, because I was thinking he'll be wicked for them. I was.
Yeah, I know he would. That's what I'm saying. Leave him alone. You don't need him. You don't need him, Liverpool. I don't think it's going to happen. I don't know. They've been chasing Lavia for way too long, but Amrabat would be just an easy deal for Liverpool to get done, in my opinion. They're going to get 40 million up front as well. Like apparently 140.
That is the money for Amrabat.
That's money. It's straight cash. You know what I mean? Yeah. Or anybody that they want to get, really and truly. They don't need to wait for no second season. That's straight FFP off the books. That means they can dip into their next season budget if they really wanted to, because they don't have to wait, right? So that's just the way it works. I just think they're going to end up getting Lavia, but Florentino Luiz.
Yeah, he's highly rated, man.
People need to know about this. If you don't know about this guy, at one point he was highly rated on Football Manager. That's where a lot of people came to know about him.
Oh, well, he must be good. I love
that. Anyway, no. He was a wonder kid on Football Manager, and that's what I first got. That's the first got my attention about him. And then he went to Benfica, and then there you can see a little bit more about him. He's on, where he's playing Champions League or he's playing in Portugal, where if you watch the Porto game or not, or Sporting Lisbon, quite good games to be fair. But what he offers, Florentino Luiz, he's just a clamper. I like to call him a John Obi Mikel. Not saying going forward, just clamps, short pass, lay it off, and let everyone else do the work. Aerial ability, sweep up, clean up, do whatever you want. But on the ball, he's not that great. you know, he gets tackled. He's suspect. His touch is a little bit suspect, and you could also say he loses the ball a bit too frequently.
His job the Premier League, mate. You know what his job would be? His job would to be what you said: destroy, help the back four, help players like Trent when we're saying he needs defensive cover, and just give it to McAllister and Szoboszlai. That's it. Like just do your job and destroy and Trent. And just give the ball, even if it's 6-yard passes, 12-yard passes. As long as they get to that player, you've done your job.
Nigel de Jong.
Sometimes you just need that.
It's exactly what Nigel de Jong was at City.
Yeah, literally. Just destroy, give it. Give
it
to
someone else. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And that's what I would be looking at. And someone asked a question in there. I know it's not a super chat, but I wanted to respond to it. Someone says, why is Amrabat going for so cheap?
Yeah.
So basically at the moment, a lot of Italian teams are struggling financially. So they are looking to sell players. Onana, for example, we're getting him for under 50 million. Amrabat is about 30 million at the moment. It's just that Italian teams are struggling and they have to sell before they can buy. And that's a lot of clubs at the moment. So yeah, that's the short.
We do the super chat, by the way.
No. Read that one. Yeah.
Do you know what?
Demo Ronaldo left United to Madrid. He's a United legend. Yeah, obviously he done legendary stuff.
But you know what? We can
talk about that.
You know what? Long. That's Ronaldo.
Yeah.
That's Ronaldo.
One of the greatest players who ever played a game.
You know what? I wouldn't be surprised if Juventus somehow try and claim him as a Juventus legend as well. Like when you're putting up numbers like you've been putting up, there's not many like that.
Don't compare him.
Yeah, I agree. But Florentino Luis, I don't like the signing for Liverpool. Again, it's just potential based, and if you're going to get a potential base, I don't think he's going to cost a lot of money either. Big up Don. I just thought you're better suited to go get someone more of an all-rounder like a Lavia. But
do you know the other thing you said on him? Yeah. So you said about how on the ball he loses it a bit, right?
I think he's suspect of it. Yeah.
So I'll be honest with you. I'm going to speak on Rodri. Rodri first season in the Premier League. Yeah. He would pick up the ball on the edge of our kind of midway in our half, facing our goal, take way too long to turn on the ball and get tackled. Right. I saw it a lot. I've seen that with a lot of DMs that come to the Premier League. First season, they're not ready for the pace of the Premier League. They're not ready for the fact that you don't have time to turn, look up, pick out a pass. You will have lost the ball before you've even turned, let alone look up, right? And do you know what? At some clubs, you have that time. Liverpool, next season, you don't have that time in the 6 role. As in, it's not like you're coming in and you know what? They're rebuilding their whole midfield, right? If they're rebuilding their whole midfield, they can't have part of that rebuild someone that's going to take a year to settle in because they lose the ball too quickly and to get up to pace with the Premier League. I think that's why, for me, Lavia, who knows the pace of the Premier League, knows what it takes to play in the Premier League, that would make more sense to me. Alternatively, look, we've been saying it on Never a Foul from the World Cup. Why I don't still to this day understand why Liverpool didn't go and get Amrabat in January, because I think he wouldn't have been the creative player they wanted, but he would have made them a damn sight stronger at the back for the second half of last season. I think Amrabat for me and that price as well. Short term Amrabat I'd have, long term definitely Lavia.
Yeah, I think and the price or the longevity, 19 years of age is he? I might be wrong. He might be older or younger. I think he's 19 max. Yeah, even 18 maybe. I think he's really
19. He's a year older than Rico Lewis, and Rico Lewis is 18, so he's 19.
Yeah, he's 19. Yeah. So like, do you know what I mean? Like you said, Southampton. He's played their Premier League experience. Also come through the City Academy. I just think that's one of them signings that he can do a bit of everything as well. He can destroy, he can pass, and I think Liverpool fans will really take to him as well. And I feel like he would thrive in terms of getting that big step up. It's just the way I look at it, right, is that I feel like Liverpool are in good hands because if they got a Florentino Luis, I feel like they could make it work. If they get a Lavia, I think they can make it work. If they go and get an Amrabat, I think they can make it work. So for me, I look at if there was 4 players and it was like 2 of them I like and 2 of them I didn't, then I'd be a bit nervous because like, what if they bring in one of the 2 that I don't like? But because all 3 have something about them, I feel like whoever they get, at least they're looking at the right kind of players. Yeah. And I think that's what they're doing right at the moment. But I'm intrigued because sometimes when you have 3 players to pick from or 3 players you're interested in, sometimes you might go for the one that might not work out as well as what other ones could. Sometimes it's better to be like maybe Man City, where it's like, do you know what, Gvardiol at the moment as a centre-back, Pep's number 1 target, left centre-back, that's who he wants, Gvardiol. It's not like you're hearing a second name, a third name, a fourth name. He wants him. So if he doesn't get him, you're then thinking, okay, well, he might not even get one because he only has one target. When you have 2 or 3 or 4 names, you've got to then pick one and then hope that one works out. So,
Vardio's done. That is done. City know
that's
what we
done
have
then. Okay.
No, we know what we have to pay. We've agreed personal terms with him. The reason why it's not done yet is because Laporte is still at the club, right?
Still, yeah.
And this is the whole thing with everything at City at the moment. Pep likes working on a small club, on a small squad, deep but small. And also, I don't believe Pep would want to disrespect any of the senior players at City because we haven't sold them yet to bring in their replacements and then potentially not sell them and then have to turn to certain players and say, you're not in the squad this season. I don't think Pep would be... we wouldn't want to do that. I had a question real quick. So I think we're just waiting. I had a question for Lawless real quick. And it's off the back of a show the other day. Declan Rice, gone. 105 million in your pocket.
Scott McTominay.
Ward-Prowse, Scott McTominay.
You know it's McTominay.
Calvin Phillips.
What the hell are they going to do with that money?
Now? What are you wanting them to do with that money?
Are you on mute?
Are you on mute? Yeah.
You're on mute. You're on mute.
We can't hear you. You're on mute.
Yeah, no, it's because my girl called me. It was, you know what the funny thing is? It was Amrabat before Liverpool and all that were linked earlier on. Now they're all linked. That looks like that's dead in the water. Paulinho is looking like that's off the cards because they're sticking to their 90 million guns. So those were like my 2 top targets. And they're like...
Alvarez, isn't it? That would be a good clamper.
Alvarez is the big link now from Ajax. That's the...
Yeah, because his Dortmund deal fell through.
35, 40 million, they're saying.
Yeah, that Dortmund deal fell through.
35 million, that's a double pivot. That's actually not even a bad double pivot when you think about it.
Oh, I like that Alvarez, that's quite a good shout.
I like that McTominay for you, Can't lie, it's quite good. We're getting 15, 20 million for Tellers. Take him if you want as well. Maguire.
Yeah, I think Moyes rates McTominay. I think he likes him. I think he likes him.
It makes sense.
Yeah, maybe
Scottish power, like the energy gas.
I'm not feeling it.
That team budget is coming through nicely. 25 million for Elanga, 30 million for Henderson. I mean, now we're getting 20 million for Tellers. I can't believe it.
Do you know what, Lawrence? Actually, a genuine question back off Daps though, because that Alvarez is a great shout because I feel like it's European experience. He comes with, he's got that international experience as well playing for Mexico. For example, last year you went and got Lucas Paqueta. If I said to you 3 years ago you're going to get the Brazilian international midfielder Lucas Paqueta, you'd have been like, nah, we're not bringing him to West Ham. But you went out and got someone who's a bit different to sort of the West Ham way. You look at Ben Rama as well. He's a bit different to the West Ham way. These guys have got a bit more flair about them. It's not just hard work. Do you know what I mean? It's not just about hard work. Do you feel like
you've got to separate the West Ham way and the Moyes way?
Yeah,
the West Ham way is
more you lot. The Michi Pie, yeah, exactly. But you've got the Moyes way at the moment. Moyes brought in Lucas Paqueta, for example, and I'm thinking, obviously, with that, do you see someone of that sort of ilk or that flairiness coming in? Now you've got 105 million. Even though you're looking for a Declan Rice sort of midfielder, do you feel like someone else could come in? Because I know you were linked with like a Harvey Barnes before, but it's not going to be him. He's going to Newcastle. Is there anyone out there that like?
Yeah, well, like for me, I feel like we just need to identify a style of play and just bring in the players that like. Look, if I would rather us go back to play some good football and play attacking football, I feel like that's kind of more sustainable for the upper end of the table. But if Moyes sticks to his guns and say, no, I want to play Moyes ball, then go out and get the best players to play that. I just want us to do that. And I watched the preseason game today and against Perth, but the way we set up, it looks like he is trying to change a little bit, and he tried to play more to Scamacca's strengths. We're trying to play some more sort of link-up passing game. So that does tell me that we're trying to move in maybe a bit more of a progressive direction, because if we're going to play Moyes ball,
then you need Scamacca. Paqueta's best way is doing those shadows runs, and it's just like that's criminal not to use that guy the way he needs to be used. Criminal.
Yeah. Do you know what? We had a conversation about Moyes a couple of months ago, right? And I think it was probably round about the time that it was when I reckon it was maybe around either quarter or semi-final stage of the Conference League. We were talking about Moyes, and I think, Cass, we were saying that even if West Ham stay up and win the Conference League, that we thought maybe mutual agreement, Moyes might leave. Not sacked, but leave because West Ham might be like, we'd never want to disrespect a manager that's just won a European trophy. But the direction of the club, with the signings they've been making and the type of manager you are, we don't match anymore. And maybe now's a nice time to part ways. But if you're saying you think maybe that conversation has happened, and maybe Moyes has said, look, give me a chance. Let me try and play some different.
Well, we've brought in Tim Steidten, who was the director of football at Bayern Leverkusen, found a lot of gems there.
Right.
So I think there's some sort of plan and idea for West Ham to try and have him help replicate what he done at Bayer Leverkusen at West Ham and sort of progress. And actually, we've got Nobles overseeing it as, the director of sport or whatever. They have all these roles. But I think there's trying to implement a club sort of wide system and plan in place. So for the future, this is how we play. And when Moyes goes and we get a new manager, they come in and this is how we play.
The thing is, this is the thing with West Ham. There is something going on there, right? You left Upton Park to go to the new stadium with ambition, right? You wouldn't have upset all your traditional fans if there was not ambition. That ambition was to move to a bigger stadium. The ambition, is there not something going on with your badge as well? That you're kind of, there's something going on at West Ham. West Ham want to, they're not like going, do you know what? We're happy being the 4th club in London or whatever it is. They're like, no. Why should we not? Why should we not dream of being like one of the top clubs in London? Because we've got this stadium now. We've got one of the biggest stadiums in the country. We've just won a European trophy. They're not going to go, right, that's it, we're done. Feet up and go, we're cool here now. They'll want it, like I said, Declan Rice will want to, he's been captain of West Ham. He's not going to Arsenal to just become, one of their players. He's going to want to be captain of Arsenal sooner or later. The same with West Ham. West Ham haven't won a European trophy to go, great, cool, feet up, and now we're just going to go back to being quiet. They've got ambition, and it is interesting. I've seen it, just little things going on. Like I think they do want to. And are you bored? Because at one point your board kind of were a bit all about money and whatever. Do you think the board have got a bit more ambition now as well?
Yeah, it's a weird one because I just feel like the board are just it's a sort of lack of. I don't think it's lack of trying in terms of ambition. I think it's lack of knowledge. Like I feel like
lack of profile as well, man.
Yeah, Sullivan tries to do a lot himself. He tries to get heavily involved in transfers, and he's a pawn baron. Like, what does he really know about football? Why are you getting involved like that? So that's been the issue, and not putting the right people in the right places.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. And I think, do you know what? With that Leverkusen person coming in, I think that is good because you look at Liverpool, they've just brought in someone from Germany as well as their new director of football. And German people are respected. They do know their football, they do know their youngsters, and they're good in the market, especially when you're going back over there. So I think it is going to be interesting what happens with West Ham. I know we've done over an hour already, guys. So I just wanted to make some news quickly just to say, first of all, like this video. Still 750 of you here. So please make sure you slap a like if you haven't already. Let's get this to over 350 likes before the end of the show in a moment. Also, guys, 12K subscribers on Never a Foul. So thank you to those that have been here from the start, those that have joined today, and those that have been with us through the whole last few months. So massively appreciate that. And lastly as well, we want to get you guys more involved. Obviously, the members will get back on the call-in show at the start of the season, but we want to make sure that we're talking about content that you guys want us to talk about. So leave that in the comments as well below. We were going to talk on Lukaku, but we've got a nice guest for tonight who's going to come on with Chelsea, and we're going to save a bit of Lukaku for that later, because at the moment, as it's been reported, Inter Milan are pulling out of the deal for Romelu Lukaku from Chelsea, and it looks like Juventus are the ones that are taking top spot, and he could be, as Cass says, kissing his 7th club badge.
Bro, man's a serial cheater. Megan Stallion, you need to steer clear of this guy. He's a cheater.
When I say, the last part I'm going to say, just a little, maybe it's not really a hot take at all, but I think with the 40 million cash up front, it doesn't mean Liverpool going to get 2 midfielders. I think they still get their normal targets they're going to spend. I guarantee they put some mega money down for Levi Colwill. Guarantee.
Oh yeah, that's a good one as well. Yeah, they obviously want a centre back. They could use some of the extra funds to tempt Colwell with a move. But guys, make sure you also check out West Ham Fan TV as well. Big up Lawless for coming on.
Yeah, thanks for coming on,
Lawless. Be on over the season as well.
Nah,
He's on DR as well, man. Part of the family, so massively appreciate that. Declan Rice has been announced to Arsenal people. Liverpool looking at Florentino, Luiz, Amrabat, and other players like Lavry as well. And then we're going to be back at 10 o'clock tonight as well. We're going to be talking more on the big news today, evening debate, and Lukaku as well, and his move to potentially Italy. But guys, thank you for watching, and we'll catch you on the other side.